Hello, welcome back to another reading vlog here on Dead Good Book Reviews. I think we're on reading vlog 37. Maybe. It is Monday lunchtime for me here in the world, and things are going not great. I'm just having one of those days. They come up fairly frequently, but you know where from the moment you open anything on Monday morning, then it's just a cascade of badness, and it's all things that aren't super bad, but when you collect them all together, they just make up for a kind of sucky day. That's the kind of day I'm having, but I'm coming on to start the vlog and try and shift that energy or something equally hippy-dippy into the world. I have got one piece of nice update news. I talked last week about, this just has my address on it, but I talked last week about ordering a sewing pattern, and that sewing pattern is here, so I'm excited to get my mitts into that and get working out how to construct this garment. It involves a lot of techniques that I have not used before, so I'm definitely going to try and do a mock-up. I think it's going to be the most hodgepodgey mock-up because I don't have any fabric that will be enough fabric to work for this just in one thing, so I think I'm going to try and piece it together from all of my various scraps, which is good for using up scraps, but possibly will make a very strange garment. But other than that, what else do I have to tell you? I finished The Wolf in the Water on Saturday evening. It wasn't my favourite, it didn't grip me as much as Josie's other stuff has done. I just think I didn't quite connect with it in the same way. I think there was less of a hook to get me in, like bisexual vampire detective, okay, I know what I'm getting in for, whereas this was a bit more of an abstract idea, maybe. I had a pretty decent time reading it, just in comparison. It wasn't my favourite. This week, I am continuing to try and read down my Last Chance TBR. That is what's left. I might have a meeting very soon, so that's telling me I need to get ready. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm going to drop these. What's going to be in frame? Oh, nothing. I'll just hold them up for you. I have 5 books that I want to get read. So I have Wild Savage Stars by Christina Perez, which is the sequel to Sweet Black Waves, which I haven't hung on to. Don't know if I'm going to hang on to that. I have the first 2 books in Kirsten White's Slayer series, Buffy the Vampire Slayer. Might hang on to them, not sure. I have These Rebel Waves by Sarah Rush, which was a fairy book from a while back, where I then read the sequel and I wasn't wild about it, so I'm going to see reading that again. And then I have Nocturna by Maya Motaine, not sure, but this was a fairy book that was at Ash's house for some time, and I can't remember anything that happened, so I'm rereading it. So all YA, actually. Looking at it, I think, yeah, I'm pretty sure Wild Savage Stars counts as YA, and arguably, am I setting myself up for a really rubbish reading week? Because all of these are things that I am not sure if I'm going to like on a reread or not. But sometimes that's just the way it is, and if I end up DNFing 5 books this week, that's just sort of how the cookie crumbles. So I think I'm going to start with These Rebel Waves, because I kind of want some pirateness. Not even pirateness, but like boatness in my life. I think I'm going to kick off with that and start that today and maybe finish it tomorrow. So yeah, join me this week as I read through this little stack here. Then it will be December planning and things. How exciting. Hi, it is Tuesday. I've just been running, so I look a bit messy and post-shower and all of that stuff. The joys of lunchtime running in the winter. But I am doing well. I have finished These Rebel Waves, and while I definitely did enjoy it more the second time... Stop creaking. While I definitely did enjoy it more the second time around, I think going in knowing that it's not piratey is really helpful. So if you haven't read it already, think more like stream/swamp raiders rather than pirates is kind of the thing. And I thought some of the plant stuff was really clever, and I liked how that played out. Knowing that I didn't love the sequel, I'm not going to hang on to it because I find it really difficult. Some things it's easy to recommend a first book in a series and then say don't worry about the others. Other things, if it leaves it on enough of a cliffhanger at the end, you kind of say, well, do I want to disappoint people with the duology? So I'm going to thank and bid farewell to that one, also because there's just not enough room on the shelves to keep hold of all of these, as you know. Other than that, not been much else happening. I ought to be writing some book reviews, but I have been working flat out, and then the last thing I want to do in the evening is sit on my computer. So that's that. I am probably going to pick up Nocturna next because it is on top of the stack that you cannot see. It's just out of frame, but it's literally that level of decision making. I just need the you know that picture of the snake taking the path of least resistance. I will stick it up if I can find it. That's me, and the path of least resistance is the book that is on top of the stack. So that's what I'm going to do next. This is the thing, it's awkward when everything's rereading because I don't know how much to talk about things. These Rebel Waves, Plant Magic, Revolution, YA, not that amazing. I think I've said everything I need to say. Sewing wise, my sewing pattern came. I told you about that. I have started cutting out some fabric pieces from my fabric scrap stash in order to try and make a mock-up because it involves quite a lot of things that I don't 100% know how to do, and I don't want to try that out on the expensive fabric. So it's slow going, but I have, I think, 4 pattern pieces cut out because a lot of it's piecing together scraps of fabric and then working from there. Hopefully I will show you something if and when I do anything with it. It will be the most patchwork of ugly garments, and it's all in slightly the wrong kinds of fabric as well. So if it looks terrible, a part of me is going to go, is this terrible because I'm bad at this? Or is this terrible because I ignored all of the guidance and I should have bought like 4 meters of other fabric? I don't know. Anyway, that's all from me for today, and I will see you probably on Thursday. I'll leave if you ask, but please don't make me, 'cause it breaks my heart to walk out of your door. Oh, darling, oh my lover, if you take me, I promise I'll be yours forevermore. Look at us spike when we barely begun. Look at us under the Mediterranean sun. Now am I being masochistic, or is this me saying goodbye? I truly don't think I could tell you, but right now I'm willing to try. Skim it like a stone and let the water claim it, wrap it in a bow and give it all away. I feel it in my bones, but I can't seem to say it, slowly letting go, and yet I'm so impatient. Could it be we're ancient history? Hi, it is Thursday. I'm just coming on fairly quickly, to be honest. I've actually taken the day off work because my insomnia is so bad at the moment. It's one of those things, it's on and off, and at the moment I think the stress of Christmas and job things and various other things, my brain is just not wanting to be quiet at the night time where it should be quiet and sleeping. So I'm not working today and I'm mostly just resting. So I just wanted to come on because otherwise there's quite a big jump between Tuesday and Friday and all of that stuff. The nice thing about insomnia is that sometimes I like to read when I really can't sleep because it helps me get to that brain switching off point. So last night at like between 11 p.m. and 2 a.m. or something ridiculous, I read Unravel the Dusk, which is the sequel to Spin the Dawn, which is the YA book about she's a tailor, and I thought it was pretty good. It's a YA sequel. They're usually fairly hit or miss for me. I thought it was strong. I had a moment at the beginning where I was like, oh, is this going to be one of those YA books where the first book has a cool concept, let's bring sewing into this YA world, and then the later ones will completely forget that that's a thing because now it's just swords. Sometimes it happens. There was more sewing in it than I thought there was going to be, so positive. Still want a book that's like full fantasy sewing stuff, but that doesn't currently exist, I don't think, unless you have any recommendations. But yeah, they're perfectly good for reading at 2 in the morning. It's always YA sequels. I think I did, what was the other one I did? The sequel to These Rebel Waves. These... something Shores. Anyway, I am also vaguely working my way through Nocturna. I am 358 pages through this, and honestly, I have read this before because I went back and I looked at my review, but I started this and I was like, I have no memory of this. What's the I have no memory of this place thing. That's fully me with this book, but I am really enjoying it. It's good. Again, pretty familiar YA. I don't want to use like standard is maybe a fairly neutral word. Generic feels a bit negative, but familiar is probably the word I would use. I went back and read my original review because sometimes it's interesting to compare what you thought then and what you think now. And one of the things I was like, this all happens in the space of a couple of days. And I was thinking it's been a long time since I've read a book that has quite this shorter time scheme from start to, I don't know, well, there can't be that much more left. There's only about 100 pages. So it's literally a few days. And I find that very interesting. And I don't know, it's not something that I look into in books. I don't tend to like think about time in that way, but I've been reading a lot of stuff that has like months of time involved in one book. I don't know, it was just something I was thinking about. And then I did get some book mail, which I'll just show you because it's nice to show book mail. I got an Art of Sister song by Lucy Holland. I was about to say Handsome, but that's a different person. So this is like Celtic. I think it's based on one of those stories that's retold in the child ballads. For fans of Madeline Miller's Circe and Natalie Haynes' 1,000 Ships, I've read Circe, I've not read 1,000 Ships. Oh, I remember, because it said it would be good for fans of Uprooted and The Bear and the Nightingale, which 1000% me. Girls with Magic, who are presumably sisters. Invading Saxons. Okay, it's a murder ballad called The Two Sisters, which I have not read. How a young woman drowns her sister out of jealousy and that sister is transformed after death into a harp. I'm looking forward to reading this. This isn't out until the 15th of April. I love it when they put the pub date on the spine. It's so good. So this isn't out for a while, but I will probably try and read this next month, or maybe the month after. We shall see. Right, I'm going to go. I feel like I'm remarkably coherent this afternoon because I went for a run and had a shower, but really everything about me just wants to go back to bed. So I'm going to do that. Hi, hello, happy Friday. Welcome to the slight chaos that is the floor of my reading room. You can't really see it, but it is quite chaotic. I am in the middle of my lunch trying to do a little bit of sorting of sewing pattern pieces because I'm doing a mock-up for this duster, and I've cut most of the things out of various scrap fabrics that I had lying about, but I am currently... I think I have one sleeve and one more front piece to cut, and then everything is cut, and I would like it to all be done by the end of the day. As in the cutting, not the doobly-doo. But to do that, I need to utilise my lunch break, a lot of which was spent eating, as lunch is for. So I'm multitasking and doing some vlogging at the same time as I'm going to iron a piece of fabric. So yes, reading. Oh, I should probably say I'm feeling much better today. If you are a person who also struggles with sleep-based things, you may be familiar that sometimes taking some time off actually does help. So that's me currently. Let's let that heat up. That's better. I finished Nocturna. It was pretty good. Fairly standard, all right. Liked it more than I remembered liking it, but I didn't remember much of it, to be honest. So maybe that's just, it's a case of, it was like reading it for the first time. I don't think I'm going to hang on to it just because I'm not super fussed about reading the sequel. I believe there's a sequel. I've also finished, what else did I finish? Slayer by Kirsten White. And I'm holding off judgment until I've also reread Chosen? Is that the second one? They might be the other way around. Anyway, I've read both of those. Good reading doing, and I'm going to pick up the second book in that Buffy series, Chosen. I'm pretty sure it's Chosen, next. But I just need 10 minutes to cut out a sleeve after ironing some fabric. I don't know why I'm surprised that I'm finding reading fairly difficult this week when it is literally just all books that I'm not super keen to read. And that's why I'm thinking about getting rid of them. But sometimes you just have weeks like that, and I am determined to finish the second one of that and Sweet Black Waves before the end of Sunday. So that's my goal. Cool. Right, I better get on because the sign is heating up now and I don't want to burn down the house. Farewell. Hello, it is Saturday. Welcome to this part of my room. Because my sewing machine is all set up. Because I haven't done any more reading since yesterday. I was like, yeah, of course I can finish Sweetback Waves, and I still can't remember its name. Chosen. My goodness. But instead, what happened was I finished work and I had an email saying that the fabric I'd ordered for the duster project was on the way. And so I was like, oh, I should really get started on that mock-up. And I finished cutting up the pattern piece and I was like, I could just start. Just do a little bit of putting it together. And I did like 4 hours of work on that and then I wanted to go to bed. But it is going reasonably well. I've hit one snag of a pattern piece that is distinctly longer than I think it ought to be, and I'm not sure why. So that's something I'm looking into. But other than that, it's going kind of well. Let me try and find a piece that I can show you that looks vaguely done. Oh, so this is going to be the back. Bear in mind, it will not be in these fabrics in the final product. This is a useless angle, but it's like a back piece. It's very exciting. The reason that I'm in this particularly lurid shade of pink is that I want to go for a run as soon as the vlog is edited, so it wasn't worth putting on different clothes, vlog, change into running clothes, you know how it is. I find moments like this really interesting just for my own introspection, because when I woke up this morning and I was like, oh, I haven't done any more reading, and I don't really want to read anymore today. I want to do this sewing project. Maybe I should just, genuinely, my first thought was, maybe I should just not post a vlog, because then no one will know that I failed. Like, the part of my brain that is, like, weirdly ingrained in, like, I don't know, like, must get into university, that kind of teenage brain set, will not leave me. And so I have to tell that bit of brain, shut up, people don't care that you didn't read 2 more books this week. So yeah, you're watching this because I refuse to not be a failure. There we go, that will do as a closing line. No. I am getting through my Last Chance TBR though. I have 2 more books left of that, and that is enough to get me through to the end of the month, which is Monday. So I will probably finish those. I don't want to say I'll finish both of them before the start of next vlog, but I hope to, because next week is going to be a library book vlog. Ooh, very exciting. Maybe. But yeah, I had a pretty decent reading week, given that I thought these were going to be books that I would really dislike and get very bored of. Actually, at least two of them were pretty solid. And I've started the audiobook of Golden Fool, which I haven't got very far with. I've got about half an hour in, but it is happening anyway, and I'm enjoying it. And not every week is a reading win, and sometimes you have to have other hobbies, and very rarely do I do anything but read. But when I do, it is an overambitious project that I will probably fail at, that I can't understand why this pattern piece is longer than the other pattern piece. Thank you so much for watching this vlog. I haven't looked at any of the footage yet, so I have no idea what it's like, but we shall see. I hope it came together into something vaguely coherent. I hope that you've had a wonderful week. Let me know in the comments what you've been reading, what you've been up to. Do so. I would love to know if I have any other sewing friends. That would be very interesting. That's all from me. No, did I tell you to subscribe? I did not. You can also, while you're down there commenting, you can follow me on all of my social media. You can subscribe because it makes me feel loved and appreciated. That's all from me, and I will see you in the next one. It's gonna be some bloopers now. Hello, it is not a happy angle, but there we go. I feel like this is my quiet way of telling you that I did in fact slightly kill the plant. If you've been watching for some time, you will know.